Why? Because you want to be loaded. You want to show up to that party in a helicopter, not a Toyota Prius from an Uber pool. You want to get 50,000 likes on Instagram, not 14 likes, and it's usually just likes by those bots that are trying to sell you some network marketing weight loss powder or hair extensions. Look, there are a lot of reasons why you want to be wealthy and succeed in real estate, but there's one reason that is overlooked, which is compound interest. The sooner you get investing in anything, the sooner your interest can make interest from interest. The initial return on investments is usually not the main draw. It's the fact that that can get rolled over again and again and again into something bigger and better. So for example, think of your life like a snow-capped mountain. The day you're born, you're at the very top. It's beautiful. You're born and you have this breathtaking view of the world. It's very symbolic, very beautiful. Every year represents 50 yards down the mountain. So if you're gonna die at 100 and you're 50 years old, you're halfway down the mountain. Now when you start to invest, imagine your investment like a little snowball. Even if it's just $100 or $50 or $1,000 or whatever is a very small amount to you, it's like the size of a booger. It's like, I mean, in New York City, my boogers would be actually really big because the city's so dirty. But let's just say it's a normal size booger. Now, it's not much, but the sooner you roll that booger-sized snowball down the mountain, the more momentum it can get and the quicker it can too. Now, investing is not linear because this snowball is going to get a tiny bit of snow on it. It's going to build a bit of interest. But the bigger the snowball gets, when it gets to the size of a golf ball or a tennis ball or a grapefruit or a volleyball or a balloon, there's so much more surface area that it's going to get more and more snow. So if you wait longer, then you're going to still start with a small investment and wait for it to go. And it'll still have to take years and years for it to get that surface area for it to really build a lot of momentum. If you wait for later to invest, then you're giving that snowball less time to not only build interest, but to build interest quickly by growing on its own. So let's apply this to real estate. Let's say you don't have much money, but you could afford a little house, a $150,000 house with 20% down. That's $30,000. And I apologize if this is a lot to you, but if you have big dreams, big goals of having multi-families and shopping malls and all this, then this one house does seem like a little, but you may start with even a smaller investment yourself. You may have to partner with people just to get to this first investment. But let's say you want this $150,000 house, you put down 20%, which is $30,000. Now you hold on to it for 4 years and you've had a renter in there for 4 years that's very happy, they're doing their thing, and you sell it and you're able to sell it for $175,000. Now that's $25,000 profit. You also get a couple $1,000s from equity from that renter being in there for 4 years. So let's just say it's $5,000, not much. That's $30,000 you've made in profit. You get back your $30,000 in investment, and that's $60,000 total that you have to move towards something else. So $60,000 is 20% of $300,000, right? 60, yes, $300,000. Let's do the same thing. It's $300,000 triplex or quadplex. You rent it out for a couple years, 4 years, let's say. You make some equity on it, you make some cash flow, and you sell it for $360,000. So 300 goes up to 360,000. You get back that initial 60, you get back 60,000 from profit. We won't even include equity in there. Let's just say $120,000 after 8 years of investing. Again, snowball is getting bigger. It was a booger, now it's a volleyball. $120,000 as a 20% down payment now can get you a $600,000 property. Now we're getting into some good numbers. $600,000 property, rent it out for 4 years, you sell that for $660,000, $700,000, who knows? But you see how this goes, and 2 more cycles like this of 4 years of renting it out, building some equity, building some appreciation, and you're in the $2 million range. This is only, 10 years or so. Like, this is only 4 or 5 different swaps up where you can be into these multi-million-dollar ranges, and now your snowball is huge. Now your lifestyle is the way it wants, the way you want it to be. But it does take time. It's not get rich quick, but you do have to take action now, because if you don't start that snowball effect, then you'll never get to these big numbers. The problem with a lot of people is that they want the big things sooner than 10 years, sooner than 12 years. They want that 10-unit multifamily next year. And while some people achieve that, understand that there might be a much higher risk involved, or a lot more resources involved that you may not have, or you may not have that risk tolerance. So please don't overlook compound interest. The sooner you start to roll that small, tiny snowball, the sooner it can build more and more. It'll have more surface area to attract more snow, aka money or return, so you can roll it over into bigger and better investments. That is why you need to invest in real estate now. Build that little empire with that one small property today, not tomorrow, not next year. Thank you so much for tuning into the Millennials Guide to Real Estate. Please subscribe to the station and click that little bell to be notified of new videos. I'll be interviewing and bringing you the best young realtors from Realtor.com's 30 Under 30 to give you the best advice to succeed in real estate later this year. Stay tuned and have a good one.